I mean, the Golden State Valkyries didn't just beat the Las Vegas Aces, they kicked their whole ass. 68-95. The Las Vegas Aces can only score 68 points with the squad that they have. What is going on in Las Vegas?
The Las Vegas Aces, yeah, those Aces. The ones flexing 4 U.S. Olympians and 3-time MVP Aya Wilson just got steamrolled. By 27 points. And who delivered that beatdown? None other than the Golden State Valkyries. Meanwhile, their once-overlooked rookie Kate Martin. She's out in San Francisco, possibly sipping a smoothie, grinning at the box score. Because not only did her new squad wreck the Aces, she thrived in her upgraded role.
All right, I got to give a shout out to Golden State Valkyries because boy, did they put an ass whooping on Vegas. Boy. And I'm not talking about some 15-point win. No, this is a 4-quarter, 27-point spanking in front of a sold-out crowd in Golden State. Vibes was immaculate. Love this.
If you're riding with Kate, comment Money Martin down below. Let's go. But let's talk about the delicious irony here. While the basketball world still kneels at the feet of Aya Wilson, like she's untouchable hardwood royalty, her team is coming apart faster than a cheap IKEA shelf. And suddenly the dots are connecting. Maybe Kate Martin...
On paper, they should be kicking everybody's ass. Literally everybody. Like, A'ja Wilson put the entire Aces on her back and is doing everything she can to help her team, and it's just not going.
Was the secret ingredient all along the glue. The motor. The backbone that kept the Aces dynasty alive. You can't argue with the numbers. 95-68. Vegas's worst loss since 2023. And it wasn't to a defending champ or a seasoned super team. Nope. It was an expansion team, a squad that should still be learning how to pass straight.
Lost a lot, okay? And so I was like, yeah, we gotta wait. Give them time. But we didn't set uphill and lost by damn near 30 to an expansion team? Come on now.
Instead, they were running laps around the Aces like it was a light practice session. This wasn't just a bad night. It was a full-on implosion. And it all started the moment Kate Martin's name was called in the expansion draft. Remember that. The Aces left her unprotected.
Our rookie from last year, okay, Kate Martin, the Iowa girl, you know what I'm talking about, who rolled in this thing with Caitlin, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, when she was coming on our bench last year, she was the Valkyrie, okay? And she had more boards with 7 than the best player in the world had with 6, okay? Also, Kate Martin, to make it even worse, had more points by her damn self than Jackie Young and Jewell Loyd put together. Kate had 12. Them girls together had 9. The hell is going on?
The media yawned. The franchise shrugged. Even Aya Wilson dropped her now infamous, "It is what it is." Like they just lost a backup water bottle. But here's your reality check. In pro sports, the only stat that matters is wins. And without Kate Martin, Vegas has been doing a whole lot of losing. The real story is simple. Las Vegas got arrogant. They thought plugging in Jewell Loyd would patch the hole. But you can't replace chemistry. You can't...
Our interest in the Valkyries, whatever you want to say, like, if anything, even if it's just a passing interest, there are people that are interested in the Valkyries. And they destroyed the Aces. I mean this when I say this. The Aces, I've never seen the Aces look this bad before. And the Valkyries are for real. They're 3-5 on the season. But they play so hard.
Replace Hart. And you definitely can't replace Money Martin. If you saw this coming, if you're Team Valkyries, or if you just love a good underdog rise, hit that like button. Drop a Money Martin in the comments. And make sure to subscribe for more W content every week. So how did the dynasty look without its secret engine? Grab the popcorn, because the latest Vegas meltdown is a case study in overconfidence. Aya Wilson, the league's headline queen, managed 17 quiet points on us.
The denominator, a similarity between those games. The one was in Seattle, I believe.
Yeah. Following people around defensively, being really soft mentally, just letting people come out and punk us, hit us, grab us, and us whining instead of buckling down and saying like, okay, that's what's going to be. Then let's go. And I told them in there, I said, we have effort has to come from your heart. The schemes, the discipline, the habits, that's your head. And right now we not only have a heart issue, but it's letting us affect our head issue. But I'm not going to coach effort. It's just one thing I can't deal with. You're in charge of your effort. I guess I'm in charge of your playing time. So that's the one way I can affect it. But, I've never been a coach to pull for mistakes. But I will pull for effort.
OSO 5, 4th 13. Jackie Young. Practically a hologram, 8 points, 1 made bucket all night. And the big replacement, Jewell Loyd, the scorer they thought would erase the loss of Kelsey Plum. A brutal 6 points on 1-for-8 shooting. This is the championship DNA everyone brags about. More like deoxyribonucleic acid. Even Coach Becky Hammon had enough. I'm not coaching effort, that's on you. Translation, talent isn't the problem, the locker room is on life support. Vegas trailed by 21 at halftime and never sniffed a comeback. They fed the Valkyries 95 points, to an expansion team still unpacking boxes. That 27-point spanking. Their worst since the Liberty bulldozed them.
But come out loud and sit here and say she happy to be the number one dog, not be able to drive her own car at her own speed. But you could tell in her body language that she was absolutely happy to be able to do what she want out on the floor and just really get to her spots, really run her team the way she wants to. And she showed you she can be a lead dog. 37 points for your first debut as a LA Spark, man. Hats off to Kelsey Plum.
Them by 38 back in August 2023. At least that night Aya scored only 9. This time she played, and it still looked ugly. Las Vegas gambled on star power and lost the glue that made it click. Kate Martin wasn't a nice to have. She was the truth teller in the locker room, hustle queen on the floor, and spark that lit the huddle. Now she's revving that engine in San Francisco, while Vegas stalls on the starting line. So here's the question. Is the ace
led the team with 28 points, 6 3-pointers, and 8 assists. She has been on a tear to start the season. I'm low-key surprised she has been mentioned in MVP talks. Granted, Nafisa Collier is my pick to win MVP, but I definitely think Kelsey Plum should get some love.
Is dynasty dead on arrival without Money Martin, or is this just a wake-up call? Sound off below. Spam that Money Martin in the comments if you saw this coming. Smash the like, sub for more W coverage, and remember, never underestimate the player who does all the little things, because when she's gone, the big names suddenly look really small. His time, Ia actually dropped 17 points, and they still got steamrolled. While the Aces are stuck soul-searching and taking L's from rookie franchises. Kelsey Plum, who Vegas shipped out in the off-season, is over in Los Angeles putting on a masterclass. In her Sparks debut, Plum went absolutely nuclear, dropping 37 points, setting a WNBA record for the most in a season opener.
Isn't yet translated into overall success for the LA Sparks. Not seeing as many wins as we'd assume with the amount of stats that she's putting up. I mean, she is exactly what the Sparks needed. She's able to read the floor, make plays, also being a very consistent offensive force, and just, I mean, she's Kelsey Plum. And so after ESPN's article came out, the conversation around MVP and Kelsey Plum have been sort of happening at the same time. With a lot of people saying that while it may be way too early, Kelsey Plum is currently...
She was lights out, 11 of 19 from the field, flawless from the line. But it wasn't just about buckets. Plum made history, becoming the first player in WNBA history to record 35-plus points, 5 assists, and 5 steals in a single game. That's not just a hot start. That's rewriting the stat books while your old team is busy rewriting excuses. And here's the kicker: she did it against the Valkyries, the same squad that just embarrassed the Aces and left Becky Hammon questioning if her team even had a pulse. Plum lit them up and sent a clear message: sometimes, you don't realize how much you were being held back until you finally
Time for a shot. Martin, fire away!
leave the cage. The Sparks needed a jolt to revive their offense, and Plum delivered, full force. She's now averaging 25.2 points and 5.5 assists per game, splashing threes at a sizzling 43.4% clip. That's not just a bounce back. That's MVP-level revenge from a player the Aces once labeled a complimentary piece. Now here's the cold reality: Aya Wilson has been held under 20 points in 4 of her last 5 games. For context, she only had 3 such games all of last season. If you're truly the best in the league, you don't vanish when your team is desperate. And the eye test. Brutal. Wilson looks like she's carrying the weight of a sinking ship, forcing shots, overthinking possessions, and visibly
when she played with the Wings and even when she played with the Sparks, like, she is one of them bully ball. Oh, like, she just plays so strong, so aggressive on the defensive end, on the offensive end, making those dives for the loose ball, like just using her body to its fullest capacity. But I do love the way that Kelsey Plum helped spread the floor, because Derek Hamby really didn't have to go in the paint and really do a bunch of even though she did get a double-double, but she didn't have to do crazy Mama D type of banging. And because like last year to get the Sparks to win games, Mama D was down that thing putting in the work. She had to put on her hard hat and had to put in a lot of
frustrated. Because deep down, she knows what we all see: this team isn't championship caliber anymore. Yeah, her stat lines might still look decent, but the Aces are 4-3, coming off back-to-back humiliations. That's not elite leadership. That's putting up empty numbers while the ship is slowly sinking, and it's not like Wilson doesn't feel it. She said it herself: the vibes were off. Before the season even started, she admitted, going into training camp, I was like, we ain't got it. Well, newsflash: if you're the face of the franchise, a 3-time MVP, and the supposed culture setter, then guess what? If the vibes are off, it starts with you. And because the basketball gods love a bit of drama, guess who's coming to Vegas on June 11th? That's right, Kelsey Plum returns, not just as a former teammate, but as the captain of a squad playing better ball than the so-called dynasty she left behind. The Aces already gave her the tribute video, hugs, and standing ovation on her first trip back. Cute. But this time, she's coming back as a rival star, outperforming Aya Wilson and leading a hungrier, tougher, smarter team.
Kelsey Plum being one of them. She now plays for the LA Sparks after playing 6 seasons with the Las Vegas Aces. And while it's super early into the season, I mean, it's only been 2 weeks, Kelsey Plum has been thriving in LA. She's currently averaging 25.2 points per game, currently the second highest in the league, followed only by Napheesa Collier. She also has a career-best 5.5 assists per game. And while Kelsey's success hasn't yet translated into overall success for the LA Sparks, not seeing as many wins as we'd assume with the amount of stats that she's putting up, I mean, she is exactly what the Sparks needed. She's able to read the floor, make plays, also being a very consistent offensive force, and just, I mean, she's Kelsey Plum. And so after ESPN's article came out, the conversation around MVP and Kelsey Plum have been...
Plum's not just winning on the court, she's doing it with swagger. When asked about life in LA, she laughed and said, figuring out DoorDash is harder than basketball. That's the energy of a player who knows she made the right move. Meanwhile, Wilson's stuck managing crushing losses and a roster that just got outclassed by an expansion team. Let's zoom out. The Las Vegas Aces walked into the 2024 season wearing back-to-back championship rings, acting like they were invincible. They bet the house on Aya Wilson as the dynasty's foundation. Assuming everyone else was just along for the ride. But that's not how dynasties work. Championships aren't built on MVP trophies alone. They're built on chemistry, culture, and role players who fit perfectly. The Aces had that magic. Kate Martin brought the grit and poise. Kelsey Plum brought the fire and clutch DNA. Together, they were the glue holding it all together. But Vegas got arrogant. They handed Martin to an expansion team, and traded Plum for Jewell Loyd, who's now putting up stats you'd expect from a backup guard on a cold streak, not a star.
Like, we're seeing AJ Wilson get Ronda Rousey. The Ronda Rousey comparisons. Not the Ronda Rousey. Like, this might be, in my opinion, the most disrespectful thing anyone's ever said about AJ Wilson. She reminds me of Ronda Rousey. Put two H's in Ronda Rousey for no reason. But when the competition wasn't that great, she looked like a megastar. But now with these new players up and coming and the quality of WNBA, she's looking very mediocre.
And here's the thing, the warning signs were there. Go back to the 2024 playoffs. The Aces got bounced in the semis by the Liberty without even sniffing the finals. That should have been a red flag. Instead, they hit snooze and doubled down on Aya. Now the wheels are falling off. Even the Vegas betting markets have moved on. Wilson's no longer the odds-maker's favorite. The money's going to balance teams with deep benches, and leaders who show up when it counts. You know, teams with players like Kate Martin and Kelsey Plum. Because those two, they get it. They understand that basketball isn't just about highlights and headlines, it's about doing the little things that turn good teams into great ones. Vegas. They're clinging to a superstar narrative that doesn't hold up under the scoreboard anymore. They didn't just lose Plum and Martin, they lost their edge. They let ego cloud reality, thinking they could ride talent alone. But what made them dangerous in the first place? Cohesion. Hustle. Trust. Having 5 players on the court who could all deliver in the clutch. Now, the players who once made that happen are thriving in new cities, and the contrast couldn't be more obvious. Aya Wilson isn't just struggling, she's starting to look like a solo act bombing on stage, while the rest of the band has moved on to sold-out arenas elsewhere. That 27-point beatdown by the Valkyries. Not a fluke. It was a wake-up call. You don't get torched at home by an expansion team unless something's deeply broken. It's like a rookie chef walking into a Michelin star kitchen and out-cooking the head chef. At some point, you've got to stop blaming bad nights and start questioning the whole blueprint. And Kate Martin. Yeah, she's smiling, graciously. Not out of spite, out of validation. Because she always knew. Greatness isn't about headlines. It's about what works under pressure. She didn't leave the Aces. The Aces left her. And now they're seeing what life looks like without their heart and hustle. Spoiler alert, it's ugly. Vegas thought they were letting go of expendable players. Turns out, they gave up their heart and soul. Now the entire league is watching them get checkmated by the very teams they used to laugh at. The question isn't, are Kate Martin and Kelsey Plum better off? That answer's already in the win column. The real question is, how long will the Aces pretend they didn't just make the biggest mistakes in franchise history? At this rate, the moment of truth is coming, fast. And it might just hit before the final buzzer sounds this season. If you support Kate Martin, drop a "Money Martin" in the comments. Like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a drop. Click the video on your screen, and we'll catch you in the next one.